stars collide. Fought for what I'm worth, now it's my turn to shine. Started from the bottom, now I'm rising from the grind. Hustling through the darkness, vision clear in my mind. Dreams ain't just a dream, and I've been scheming on the low. Turning every setback into fuel, let it grow. They doubted my ambition, said I'd never touch the sky. But my wheels are rocking, and I'm ready to defy. Look at all these mountains, conquered each and every one. Came from nothing, now I'm here, witness how it's done. I'm reaching for the top, where the stars collide. Fought for what I'm worth, now it's my turn to shine. Every trial was a teacher, every fall was a rise. Kept my head up through the storm with my eyes on the prize. They can't hold me down, I got fire in my soul. Destiny's my partner, we out of control. Heart of a lion, I've been clawing through the fight. From the trenches to the towers, now I'm basking in the light. No more looking back, it's my moment to seize. With the world in my palm, I'm the king of my dreams. For the top, where the stars collide. Earn my place in the spotlight, won't be denied. Fought for what I'm worth, now it's my turn to shine. Getting what I deserve, it's my time to climb. Reaching for the top, where the stars collide. Earn my place in the spotlight, won't be denied. Fought for what I'm worth, now it's my turn to shine. Getting what I deserve, it's my time to climb.
Yeah. Let's go. They can see that I'm the legend. Got the gold in my possession. No doubt in my mind, no question. I hold the keys to my successes. Greatness lives inside of me. Cut me open, bleed royalty. I've never known defeat. That's for the weak. For the throne, you better show loyalty. Nothing can stand in my way. I look it right in the face. I'm never slowing down. Yeah, I'm winning this race. Can't hold me back. Can't hold me down. It's time for me to own it now. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level.
Hello and welcome back to Carson City, Battleborn number 5. Today we've got Smallsword and Longsword.
Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty exciting day here. Smallsword is just the women, which is pretty cool, but Longsword is always a really popular event. And today we've got a guest commentator here, Isaac Hicks. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Isaac Hicks from the Diamond Rose. I'm the other Isaac that most everyone knows, so I'm the other one.
All right, and as always, it is I, Ronan Richards, better known as the Rat King, and next to me is...
Robin Nightingale. I'm also hailing from the same school as the Rat King.
Alrighty. Robin, what do you know about the rules of this Smallsword tournament? Because currently, I'm a little uninformed. I haven't taken a look at the rules yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going with the same rule set as Rapier, or if they're discouraging... I mean, in Smallsword, you generally don't do cuts. It's primarily just a thrust-only sort of rule set, so we'll see whether or not they penalize cuts at all.
I believe the target areas are the same. Let me take a look at the rules here for a second, see if there's anything new. Thrusts are the only scoring action for Smallsword.
Yeah, I suspected as much.
A thrust is anything that makes contact with the point that's moving forward.
And pommel strikes?
Are not a scoring action.
Okay, so it's only valid for Longsword then.
Only valid for Longsword.
Gotcha. So Isaac, how long have you been fencing with a Smallsword?
I've been fencing with a small sword for 3 or 4 years now. It is currently my favorite weapon, and it's my most practiced. Yeah, a big thing that I think we're going to see today is the sword hand is a target for Smallsword. So I think we're going to see a lot of hand snipes.
Little hand shots. Yeah, and the guard for a Smallsword is significantly smaller than for a Rapier, certainly. So it's possible to just eke around that guard and get someone in the wrist or in the fingers, possibly. And since it is all primarily a thrusting weapon, and those are the only scoring actions, the closest thing to you on your opponent is always going to be their hand. So, of course, it's going to be the first target you go for.
It's a real safe target. You can just kind of stick your hand out, almost never have to lunge, and hit someone right in the pinky as long as you have good tip control.
Yeah, I've definitely had people try to do shots sort of under my sword, kind of whipping up from below, and that's been really irritating because I block all of them. I'm like, come on, try something else.
It does hurt. If they don't hit with the tip and they just like a flat shot to your pinky. You're like,
Yeah.
All right. Just like yesterday, this tournament's got some unique elements that we need to go over. First of all, the way in which this tournament resolves ties is called the clean fencing indicator.
Oh, yeah.
It is a counter that counts every time you have an exchange that is completely clean. That is, it's not dirty. A dirty exchange is when a double, which is any action where both fencers hit each other within the same exchange.
Or even an afterblow, that's considered dirty.
Yes, yeah. An afterblow is a double in this tournament.
So if you want to fence cleanly, that's essentially you have to get in, get your hit, you know, make your strike or whatever, and then you block in your exit. You retreat cleanly. You don't get a riposte or any kind of reprisal for your strike. So, and, you know, yesterday we definitely saw that coming into play in the Rapier tournament, the clean fencing index. That did decide ties, so it is important today as well.
And of course, every time you get a dirty exchange, you lose points on your clean fencing indicator. So, people that fence more clean exchanges will win ties at the end of matches. That and semifinals. Semifinals is something that we did not explain yesterday. It was a bit of a mystery to us.
Yeah, I was wondering how that worked. I was very confused.
Semifinals is double elimination. It goes until you win either twice or lose twice. It's
okay, I
between
see.
the top 4 fencers in eliminations, and goes on to decide who will be fighting for bronze and who will be fighting for gold.
Okay, I see. So it's not really it sort of isn't an elimination round almost.
Not really. Not
Because
really. You
no
get
one-
multiple chances.
Yeah, because no one gets knocked out because you're still going to fight another time for, you know, whatever medal you get placed for. It's more like a placement.
Yes, yeah.
In the order. Okay, so the elimination name is a bit of a false flag.
Makes it sound scarier.
Yeah. Like double eliminations. Oh no. Well, okay, actually, you're still gonna fence afterward.
And then we have finals, which is done as a single elimination best of 3.
Gotcha. Okay, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. First to win twice wins the medal.
Yeah, you eked it out yesterday in broadsword.
That I did.
You lost one, then you won one, and it was coming down to the wire.
Mm-hmm. Came down real close.
But then you took it home.
I didn't. I lost. I got silver. I was fighting for gold.
Oh, okay. Well, you still medaled.
I did.
That's still
medaled.
impressive. Oh, I only got second place. Oh no, what a nightmare.
Really sucks.
What's that Ricky Bobby quote? You know the Ricky Bobby quote?
No?
No.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Oh,
Something like that.
gosh. No, get that out of there.
Agreed. Anyway, moving on from my utter failure yesterday. Is that a new sound effect too?
Yeah. I mean, it's been there the entire time.
Hold
Just
on.
don't have it. Yeah.
We've started to label our sound effect board. I've got a rat button now.
Let the rats assemble and form the Rat King.
I will restate. That sound effect is a little disturbing to me.
A little bit.
A little disturbing.
Yeah, it's
All right, so it sounds like we're having pools determined for Smallsword coming up here.
In the meantime, we've got a sponsor in Tyrant Industries Publishing. Battleborn Blades is proud to once again be sponsored by Tyrant Industries Publishing. Tyrant Industries is behind some of the most respected and widely used HEMA books in the world. If you own one, you already knew. They're essential reading for any serious historical fencer. We're grateful for their continued support and their role in preserving and promoting the art we all love. Check out their catalog at tyrantindustriespublishing.com and sharpen both your blade and your mind.
Is that the one who had the books today, or is that HEMA bookshelf? Because I picked up one of them and oh god, it was beautiful to hold in the hand.
The ones you have to wash your hands for?
No.
Okay. Then I don't know. Probably. I would assume.
The binding was beautiful. Anyway, I wanted to stroke the outside of it because it was so soft and smooth and.
I would
wonderfully
assume
made.
Tyrant then.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so we've got 3 rings today. You can see on your screen here. We've got a camera on each. And so the way pools work essentially is they're about, let's see, this time it looks like 6 fencers per pool, maybe 5. And essentially each fencer will continue to fence in matches until they have managed to fight every single person in the pool once. So I forget how much that works out to, but I think they fence 4 times.
Yes. Some pools are 4 people. Some pools are 5. So you might be fencing 3. You might be fencing 4. 4 if you're lucky.
Yeah, and that will, depending on how you do in pools, that will determine whether or not you move on to eliminations.
Yes. This is true.
Okay, 3 pools of 5.
3 pools of 5 for this tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely a smaller selection of fencers. Not nearly as popular as longsword. Everyone loves longsword. But I like smallsword.
This is one of the unfortunately unranked weapons.
Oh, boo.
Ooh, indeed.
I know. Broadsword is apparently not ranked either.
Ugh.
Yeah, can
I
get
know,
that.
right? They have single stick, I believe, but not broadsword.
Oh, that's weird.
Isn't that odd?
Don't they also have the ranked, like, any synthetic weapon? But they
Yeah,
don't have broadsword? That's
They've
kind
got
of
synthetics.
Weird.
No broadsword.
So for those of you at home who are not familiar with the small sword, it's essentially, if you imagine Inigo Montoya or, any like Zorro, he uses a rapier. The small sword is the smaller, deadlier, faster version of a rapier. It
You're
has-
going to make a lot of people upset by calling it deadlier.
Why, it's got a triangle cross section in the blade. If you got stabbed with that, there was no stitching it up. Historically speaking, that's if you got a thrust to that, you would die.
Well, historically, I mean, if anyone got stabbed with anything, they're kind of, sorry.
Well, okay, that's fair. Their medicine wasn't terribly advanced back then, but still.
They can fix up your humors.
Oh, yeah. Got some leeches for you?
Make sure they're in balance. Get rid of your phlegm. Make sure your bile's okay.
Okay. We should have a little bit more accurate calling in advance now because I, with my special headphones, can hear the director.
Ooh, nice. Okay, we've got ring 3 going on in the background now. We're not currently on it. We're staying in ring 1, but for reference, pool 3 is active.
All right. Currently, we're just going over rules. Director is informing the fencers that there are no blade grabs allowed. Arm wraps are allowed. Hand parries are allowed. No grabbing the blade.
Yeah, I think that was an invalid thing to do in rapier as well, right?
Yes, that it was.
Yeah.
Small sword is hard because a lot of people, they're so quick. When they go for a hand parry, the sword will start to leave, and it's kind of instinctive to grab a blade. So hopefully we won't see a lot of hand parries, but it's probably going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Most likely. We saw it a little bit in rapier. At least I did. Once or twice.
I did appreciate when they did very clean hand parries with their offhand, when all they were doing was just gently deflecting the blade and protecting their, their inner line.
I believe we're going to see a lot of that today.
Yeah, I would expect so with small sword.
Honestly, what I'm expecting to see is a bit of a, especially for those who are not as well trained in small sword specifically, kind of a shouldered stance with both hands forward in the same position,
Oh, like
like a boxer.
kind of squared up?
Yeah, squared
rather
off.
than diagonal or sideways?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
we might see some
Here we go.
non-profiled fencing,
Looks
just so
like ring
you can
1's
get that
starting up.
hand parry off.
Pool number 1. All right, we got Lizard here. Lizard is a local from our Sacramento historical fencing. So she's from the same school as both me and Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
We always root for her. We're very biased.
And up against her is Emma Charles from somewhere.
Yeah, I wish we displayed what school they're from.
Unfortunately, the table does not let us know
Oh,
where
okay.
exactly people are this time.
Yeah, occasionally in tournaments we'll sometimes. Okay. We got some probing actions here.
Both offhands very far forward, ready for a hand parry, but is also a valid target for any quick and decisive attacks.
We've got a lot of sort of disengages going on where they're trying to move around each other's guard. Very, very small motions. Oh, okay. It looks like she scored a point there.
Directors are deliberating. They don't have confidence. No exchange.
Yeah, I wasn't
Good
sure if I saw
lapel.
him. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. See, that's the underhanded sort of whipping action that I was talking about before. You can just sneak under somebody's guard.
That is going to be a shallow target for Elizabeth.
Ooh, are there shallow targets and deep targets in Smallsword?
Yes,
Okay, gotcha. So
just like rapier.
yeah, so deep target is the torso and the head and neck, and shallow target is considered the limbs.
And above the elbow.
Yes, so the upper, like the bicep and the upper arm is still considered a deep target.
A bit of a strange ruling to me. Kind of unusual.
Well, if you think about it, if you plant your sword right into their bicep, then you kind of do an arrest, and that's a really good hit. You basically stop them from proceeding with their thrust.
While I would agree with pointy weapons, I'm kind of nervous to see how this plays out in our next weapon, our cutty weapon, longsword.
Boy, Elizabeth's really running away from this. With this, sorry.
Why running away from this?
No, with it.
That's Redlow.
I've seen her fence in a lot of different weapons, and she's a very clean fencer. She's fun to fence with, and her technique is wonderful.
That she is. And time was just called, so this is the final exchange. There is no way in which Emma can win, but she can get a slightly better card. Though I'm not sure having better point values does anything in this tournament. I believe it's mostly just wins.
Yep, and a lizard takes it.
Beautiful disengage and thrust.
Oops. Okay, it looks like, yeah, Elizabeth's swapping out. Emma's staying in the ring. She's swapping colors. Do we know much about Emma? Is she new to the tournament scene, or?
Me? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not confident, but I believe they are part of the Noble Sciences little small sword shoot-off, right? I'm not 100% confident on that, though.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. And is that located here in Nevada?
Yes, I do believe so. I think they call themselves the Nevada Small Sword Club,
Oh,
but
okay.
I might be getting that mixed up with something.
Okay, so she's local.
It would seem so. I'm unfamiliar with both of these fencers stepping up, Emma Charles and Jessica Flynn.
I believe I've seen Jessica Flynn before. I think she was here yesterday, competing in rapier as well.
She seems familiar to me.
I got a little fencing in with Jessica during one of our classes. She was using a longer small sword, was using a lot of counter times, and so with these shorter blades that we are, the competitors are restricted to now, I don't know how that plan might pan out here.
It does look like we're already seeing that tendency to try and use counter time as an offensive action, as opposed to trying to take an offensive posture outright.
And they're both so far in. I feel like they're inside each other's measure right now, and neither of them are extending their arms.
Definitely are. They're definitely a little timid.
Yeah, the ring's quite small in this tournament, so they do have to be careful about retreating too far, and giving too much ground.
Very difficult with the.
Ooh, that looked like a deep target.
It looks like
Let's see what that. Can you hear what the director and the judges are saying, Ronan?
That's red high.
Okay, so she did score that. Well done, Gemma.
Yep. Judges were a little indecisive on that. Judge couldn't see the other side of the action. Had to deliberate a little bit.
The small swords are significantly harder to see because they are so small. I think small sword is probably the closest to Olympic style fencing foils that
Yep.
we have,
Mhm.
besides maybe dueling.
Yeah. The foil was originally invented as a small sword trainer, right? That's how right away got invented. You have to
Oh, I
defend
didn't know
yourself
that.
before you attack, and then it kind of turned into what it is now. But
Second closest is most likely dueling saber, I would say.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was a dueling sword or dueling. Yeah, it's dueling saber.
the rotation of the hand there gives a really clean target to the forearm. If you thrust,
Yeah.
like Angelo says, by raising your guard to your temple, you're completely covered if they try to come over your guard. So let's see if Emma can see that
Oh, we do
opportunity.
have some great angles here.
Ooh.
Ooh, that would be a ring out, wouldn't it?
Yep. Ring out on red. Match red. Doesn't matter.
Well done. And for those of you watching at home, I know there's not many of you right now, but if there is a match that you would like to see, please let us know in advance so that we can cut to their entire match.
Yes.
We're trying to avoid cutting into the middle of a match. Make sure it's a good viewing experience for everyone.
Yes, do let us know. And if you're looking for a particular match after the fact, subscribe to our Patreon, and you can get every match, everywhere in this tournament. We're recording all of them.
Yep, all of them, every angle. So if you want to study your own matches or even your opponent's matches that you might be facing off in the future, you can analyze their technique.
There you go, free intel.
And you don't
Yeah.
have to listen to us.
Oh.
No, our voices are entirely missing from those videos. All you'll get is the director and the judges' calls.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean we get to be as annoying as we want right now?
I think it does.
So I'm gonna tell you guys a secret about what the director is saying.
Ooh.
Currently deliberating about talking during the fight. It seems like both fencers were chatting a little bit too much, which is explicitly against the rules.
Oh, do
Is
the
it?
fencers know each other?
Potentially.
That's a interesting rule.
Yeah.
I believe this is an almost universally applied rule. I don't
Ooh,
think
that's a
I've
good
ever been
step.
to a tournament without a no talking rule.
That
Really?
looked like a deep target to
I
me.
talk to everyone I fence. Oh no.
In the match?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Like, I get it for calibration, but, like, while you're exchanging blows, it's a little stranger.
Give them a little, oh, that was all right. Okay, you know.
Usually it is not heavily enforced.
Well, anyway, we got Jessica here, still in the ring, in red, and now Madeline Buckmaster. I think she was also here yesterday.
That she was.
I
Hard to
recognize the
forget
name.
that name.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't see that one. Double?
Looks like the
Double
blade
high,
got
yes.
Really.
Okay.
Blade looks like it just got dropped on top of the head. I don't know if it had point, but good.
Ooh, that looked like a deflection and a stab for Madeline.
Blue high.
Nice. Yep, that's 3 points. Okay, Madeline could still come back here. Alternatively, both shaking each other.
This is something that is very common in small sword tournaments. You end up shanking each other just a little bit every now and again.
You gotta defend. You gotta
Once you feel
block.
like you have that line, it's hard not to.
Good disengage.
Nice.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, just that
Blue high.
little disengage around the side, out to the outside line. Yeah, you're right. That was beautiful.
Still has the chance to take it back.
Little
That's
fist bump
blue
there.
high once again.
Okay. Are we tied 9-9 then? Yeah.
Yep.
Looks like
Ooh, ooh.
Madeline has figured out the counter time strategy. Oh. Just as I was speaking.
That's double.
Oh, they're still talking. Look at them.
So that's a
Seems like they're having
tie.
a good time.
Now,
Okay.
for now, the clean fencing indicator does not matter. That is being counted as a tie, and it will go on the record as a 2.5 on your win-loss ratio. So it's not quite 50-50.
Okay.
All right. So now we've got Madeline Buckmaster versus Sierra Hutz.
Oh, I like Sierra.
I do too.
She's from Diamond Rose Academy.
Same with Madeline. They're 2 Diamond Rose fencers.
You're also a Diamond Rose fencer,
That's me.
correct?
That's
Yeah.
also me. I have a little inside knowledge on that one.
Have you fenced with either of them?
Yes. Sierra, we fence a lot. Same with Madeline.
Give us the tea. Tell us
Who do you
about
think is
them.
going to win?
So,
I want to hear about that.
Sierra is, with their own verbiage, currently locked in. They are gunning for gold.
All right.
With no alternatives. Madeline
okay.
is here for the experience. You can kind of guess who I think is going to win here. Sierra has a very, has been, the Diamond Rose is a French school, but has a very Italian style of fencing. And so we're going to see a lot of counter times again, usually.
Wow, this is a very fast match. Yeah.
Both of these fencers have fenced a lot with each other too. So they know,
They know each other
they
very
know
well.
each other very well.
Oh, wow. Madeline got that on the underarm.
All right, that's high red to start the match.
Self-call. We love to see self-calls here in HEMA tournaments.
Madeline can be a very timid fencer sometimes, but when beautiful under the arm.
Ooh, yeah. Sierra was just not letting her get away.
That's high blue. Tied up.
Ooh, off the rip with a lunge.
Oh, okay.
The transport low with the pronated thrust upwards seems to be catching both of them.
Yeah. I guess they gave that to Madeline, though. She scored first.
No,
Beautiful.
There's another
Oh,
one.
never mind.
that's double.
That was a double.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't see Madeline's retaliatory strike.
Me neither,
Yeah,
but apparently there was one.
yeah, it looked passe to me. It just kind of skimmed the jacket, but
Why did they call hold there? I didn't see any exchange happen. Sometimes the judges get a little eager. They think something's happened. Yeah, that was definitely a nice stab.
That's
from
blue
Sierra.
high, bringing us back to a tie.
Well, if Sierra wants gold, she's going to have to do better. Yeah, I think there was a deflection there, too, and then a pullback and a stab. I don't know the technical term for it, but... Oh, is she waving it? Wow.
That's red low. Match red. By 1 point.
wowee.
Just barely scraping that out.
Yeah, Madeline can can be a very timid fencer sometimes, but they will suddenly lock into this aggression, right? Where you'll see things like the pronated thrust upwards. Can be
That's
quite surprising.
That's a riposte from, what is it, 8 or 7?
You could call it a 3. It's just really low.
One of
in the
those
Frenchies.
numbers.
Okay, okay.
Imagine using a number system.
I know.
I could never.
Look at these nerds. I'd rather use my cringe how.
You're what?
I'm currently studying Smallsword, okay? I have to pull out my knowledge here. All right, so Elizabeth's back in the ring, but this time fencing Jessica Flynn. Looks like she's already scored a deep target.
Ooh, a little jump upwards.
Oh, yeah.
Try to
Hopping
get-
around.
I saw another one, but was it a double?
What was funny was that it was directly upwards. It was not for forward movement.
No. I don't know if planting the point and going upwards, it does get blade bend, but
I think
Can you hear where
I
there's
think
air on it?
Jessica's just emoting. What?
can you pat your head and rub your tummy?
Do you know what the call was there, Ronan?
No.
Were you not paying attention?
I couldn't hear the judge.
Oh, okay.
Sounded a little muffled to me.
Blizzard seems set on getting this flaconade from the outside under the arm.
Looks like she managed to land it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that.
That's
bend.
high red.
Nice.
Elizabeth takes a long lead and only needs 1 point to steal the match.
That's right. If there is a 7-point difference between two fencers in a match, then the match ends.
This is a prime time to snipe a hand.
Oh, it looks like she tried there.
Tried it. Ooh, fancy. A
That-
bolt.
No, that looked like a shoulder touch to me, but maybe it was Paget.
Maybe
Oh,
we could have
there
seen
it
it
is.
better if the judge wasn't standing directly in front of the camera.
It looks like that was a self-call from Jessica.
That's match
Yeah,
red.
that's match red. As we were saying, it's a 7-point difference. So well done, Lizard. She really stole that. Oh, it looks like she's got a little bend in her blade there. Sometimes you can accidentally set a bend in the blade, and you've got to get that out.
The Olympic fencers, those guys scare me. They just lay them out and just start stepping on them and bending them back into place.
All right, so now we've got Emma Charles versus Madeline Buckmeister. Both of them back.
I do that the same thing with my car antenna.
Your car still has an antenna?
Yep. I drive a Chevrolet Tahoe.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
proud of it.
Oh, what year?
I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway, back to Smallsword.
Looks like Madeline snuck one in there.
yeah. Don't know if that went passe or caught the back shoulder blade.
Yep, they gave it to her. 3 points. It's a deep target. I want to see at least one long, nice, deep lunge.
That feint that Madeline is doing towards the head, or Maddie is doing towards the head, so getting Emma to raise her guard quite high. And if
Oh.
yeah, it hit pretty hard, but
It was a deep
so
bend.
is tournament.
Yeah.
That didn't look too bad to me.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, they're both wearing gorgets and masks, so
Hey.
they should be fine.
Small swords are pretty bendy. Just like I was saying, that feint up high, she went low, but she needs to raise her.
That's
guard.
blue high and the end of the match.
Oh, well, never mind.
Wow. Incredible. Madeline's got a pretty good record in this pool. She's doing well.
Mhm.
All right, Jessica's up again this time against Sierra. Sierra's got to do better if she wants to get out of the pools and into elims. Oh, I couldn't see that very well.
All right, so they did not see a strike from red, so that's going to end up being blue high.
All right, so she did land it there. Okay. Got a lot of circular actions going on. Ooh,
Oh, the
whoa, what's
push
going on
downwards.
there?
The old black tiger lockout. Not exactly a technique that we commonly use, but
I just missed it.
I've never seen that in Smallsword before. Like, sometimes I'll see it in Rapier, but normally you don't get forced down that low.
beautiful.
Oh, who made the hit there? I couldn't quite see it.
Sierra made a good closeout and a lunge towards the torso.
Ah, see,
that-
that's why you're here. You can see it. Ooh, did Jessica manage to get a hit in there?
Maybe.
Looks like the judges are
I don't know.
When
double?
kind of looked like a thrust to the leg. Oh,
It was one more point to Jessica. Okay, so maybe it was a low target. Maybe you're right.
yeah.
Thrust a leg.
Jessica seems to close in to right where they're too close to each other. And so once they attack each other, they're ending up in this,
Oh, that's a 7-point difference.
oh, yeah.
Does that match Sierra?
That's match. A
All
little
right.
confusion from the director.
All right, she's doing better. Let's see whether or not she gets another win to get out of pools. All right, so we're swapping out
All
completely
right.
here.
Look at this. It's a little school rivalry.
Zakima versus Diamond Rose.
Send my champion.
The schools are very good friends, honestly.
Yes.
Peter Morrow teaches Smallsword at Zakima, and he also is an instructor at Diamond Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is deep for blue, it would seem. Oh,
It's like a-
never
They're-
mind.
yeah, they're
That's
swap-
red high.
Seem to be swapping colors. I saw, Lizard, she did a thrust. I couldn't tell whether or not it landed, but
Yeah.
apparently it did.
Looked like a transport to 6 with a thrust. I was unable to see a. Oh,
Ooh, did she land a headshot?
kind of looked like a
Looks like it.
smack to me, but
Well, it must have been enough of a thrust. Ooh, she really went for it. I think she managed to land that too. Oh no, the judge is saying they didn't see it.
Nope. They're saying that it was more of a cut than a thrust.
Okay.
it's very hard with those transports and the flaconades, especially if coming to the inside, to not over rotate and turn into a cut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you have to stop your momentum, extend to get the point online, and then lunge, which can be hard when you're doing it all at once.
Yeah, sometimes it ends up flowing all into one movement, and then it's very hard to tell whether or not it's a cut or a thrust.
That's high red and the end of the match.
Well done, Lizard. It's funny. They both would have basically the same instructor.
Yeah, Peter teaches his own class quite far away from the class that we usually attend, that Maddie attends.
Okay,
But-
gotcha.
They are both familiar with each other. So.
All right, so we're swapping to Emma and Sierra. Sierra's got to pull out another win here. Looks like there's a lot of disengages going on.
Yeah.
Oh, she really exposed herself there for a moment. She tried to go in for a lunge, but I think Emma scored a point. Yep.
It's hard when someone disengages so much, but as Monsieur Labat says, that disengaging needlessly is a waste of time. But it also gives really good uncertainty towards your opponent.
Oh, that was nice.
That's blue high.
Sierra's figuring it
Yep.
out with some circular parries towards the outside.
Yeah, it looks
To
like she's
kinda-
really getting in a groove.
Stop the disengages from.
To sort of clear it.
Yep, clear out the line there.
See if Emma does anything to change that. Oh, that was a little hand snipe.
Blue low. One more deep target, and that should be the match.
Or maybe Sierra might opt for a 2 shallow targets to be safer.
Ooh, did Emma manage to get that? Or was it an afterblow?
That's blue high and the end of the match.
Well done, Sierra. Seems to be warming up.
Indeed.
Oh, we've got a request here in the live chat. Can you show Shannon Regal Buto?
Yep. Regal Buto. I do not believe that Shannon is currently fencing. Shannon might be done, actually.
Okay, well, is she in the eliminations?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, if she manages to get into eliminations, then we will show her.
Currently, we've got Lizard Pedersen versus Sierra Hans. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Oh,
Working on the nerves.
all right.
Loosening up.
Flop.
The director did instruct both fencers to get jiggy with it. I'm not sure if that's part of the rules.
I doubt it, but I like the camaraderie.
How do you know that was camaraderie?
Because they were both
Yeah.
smiling.
Could have been an intimidation.
Have you ever seen a chimp smile?
Yeah.
Oh no, those are definitely threats, but they have sharp teeth.
Yeah.
We have sharp teeth.
Yeah, we do too.
But
Are your teeth?
Ooh.
The
Moving on from people's teeth. That's high red. 3-3.
Oh, she's trying to go for the hand snipe. Ooh,
Oh.
that was a good deflection. Excellent.
both the fencers, in my opinion, fence very similar when I have fenced both of them.
Okay.
So it's interesting to see them both fence each other.
That's blue low.
Yeah, judge was signaling that was a low target.
Now this might. Oh,
Yeah, the hip is supposed to be a low target in this pool, but
did they
does
just give
appear-
Sierra 3 points for a low target?
it does appear so.
That is a table error.
Yeah, where exactly is the line there?
Yeah, the specification was the hip, which is arguable, I think, personally.
Ooh, that was a little hand shot.
A beautiful disengage. Sierra.
I think they're washing this exchange here. Sorry, we're trying to determine whether or not that 3 points was actually supposed to be. Ooh, a disengage.
Don't know if that expulsion wasn't intentional, but it was a beautiful
Yeah.
disengage either way.
Even Lizard is appreciating it.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, yeah,
Score
okay.
has been changed
So we did-
due to a table error.
I did correct it. It looks like Shannon might be fencing in the background there. I can see her getting ready. All right, Sarah still took the match.
All right.
There we go.
Move to Shannon. Good hand parry off the rip.
All right. Going over to Shannon's match.
Yes, the father of Shannon. We try to pronounce names as well as we can.
Ooh.
That's a double.
Yeah.
2 corpses.
Do our best.
That's. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Ooh, that looks like she almost
Oh,
slid on the
boy.
floor there.
Same thing.
They're getting a little too eager.
Yeah, it looks like once someone's closing out a line, they're just kind of Febreze running at each other.
Looks like Julia took that one.
Looks like it.
Yeah, so the floor here is actually quite slippery, and I feel like that's changing a lot of people's technique.
Most
Um,
definitely.
We're not seeing a ton of lunges because it's very difficult to plant your back foot without slipping.
It is a bit slippy slidey here on the basketball floor.
And most people aren't wearing like those grippy tennis shoes. We're actually, a lot of fencers wear very flat, like wrestling shoes that don't have much of a sole.
This is true. I'm currently wearing wrestling shoes, and I'm a little bit concerned about my later matches.
Yeah, it looks like people have even brought out little rugs to wipe off the dust from the floor here before their matches. You can see them in the background there.
Trying to give it as much grip as possible.
Personally, I would love to see some tournaments hosted out in the grass.
I feel like grass can also be quite slippery, though.
Oh, yes, of course, right? But it does change techniques, right?
Yeah,
And you see
that's fair.
some absurd lunges, right? That you're like, oh, come on, could you do that if any conditions changed here?
All right, so Shannon's back up, and she's now against Delaney Humber, which I believe is the wife of Isaac?
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Humber?
Isaac Humber, yes.
Yeah. Now, remind me, does Isaac Humber, does he own Diamond Rose, or is he the main instructor?
He's a lead instructor, yes.
Lead instructor. Okay.
We got a comment in the chat saying, thank you for pronouncing our last name correctly.
Yeah, and it's not ring 3 she's fencing, it's ring 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Did she land that stab?
Shannon Reach-Butel is currently in the lead with 3 points.
You're purposely mispronouncing it now.
What?
You can see Shannon has a lot of tape on the foible of their sword. I wonder if they've done that for judging or if it's for the grip that it gives on the blade so it binds better.
Oh, yeah, it goes all the way down, like halfway down her blade. That's very unusual. They're being very cautious here.
Delaney is a very cautious fencer. And has a very strong parry and riposte game. With Shannon being ahead, Shannon might know this and is just waiting out the clock. Couldn't be.
And each match is 120 seconds, correct?
I believe so.
Okay, minute and a half. Oh, you're very welcome, magic realm of Professor Rags. It's a very odd name.
Yeah. When that tip drifts off, Delaney does have to make some moves here.
She's gotta do something.
Yeah.
She can't just sit there forever. Okay, looks like she's trying to go for something.
I think Reggie Beetle's got this.
Would you stop that?
It's. I feel like that's not an unreasonable thing to say. I mean, they're going to run out of time. I mean, there's a large score gap. Delaney Humber's going to have to ramp it up.
Had that opportunity with a...
If she wants to get
Yeah, she's not
the points that she
capitalizing
needs.
on many of these opportunities.
Yeah.
Shannon is exposing herself while she attacks, and Delaney's not going for it.
Yeah, in the Diamond Rose, we really emphasize safe attacks. You know, when you double, everyone boos, right? And it can lead to some problems in tournaments with short time spans. like
That's
this.
match blue.
Yep. Shannon took it that time. All right, so that's at least one win for Shannon and one loss. I haven't seen her previous matches, so we're not sure where she is. At
All
this
right,
point.
so that is the end of polls. That went pretty quick.
I agree, Paul. Patience is important, but when you're dealing with a time limit like this, sometimes you got to break out of that. And
Especially a
Take a risk.
time limit that doesn't stop.
yes, so this tournament's a little bit unusual because the judges don't stop while they deliberate. The timer keeps going. Okay, looks like pools are now over.
Oh boy, is this a birthday?
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
man.
We're doing birthday stuff. What? Ah.
Yep, this is Alec Villanueva's 30th birthday.
Oh,
Oh man.
I didn't know that. He goes to my school. Why didn't I know that?
Or he's
And we who love him and have fenced against him, we call him the Honey Badger because He is very small and very ferocious.
I wouldn't call him small. He's just short. I've seen that man with his shirt off. He could rip me in half.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, Alec. We hope it's a good one. You're here at Battleborn with us. Oh, we've got confetti. Oh, he's moved off camera. He's embarrassed. Everyone just sang in chorus to
Find
him.
him again.
He's hanging around ring 2. All right, so we're going to go to a break here while they're deciding who is going to make it to eliminations. And we will be right back. Stay tuned, folks.
Later, people.
Yeah. Let's go. They can see that I'm the legend. Got the gold in my possession. No doubt in my mind, no question. I hold the keys to my successes. Greatness lives inside of me. Cut me open, bleed royalty. I've never known defeat. That's for the weak. For the throne, you better show loyalty. Nothing can stand in my way. I look it right in the face. I'm never slowing down. Yeah, I'm winning this race. Can't hold me back. Can't hold me down. It's time for me to own it now. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. Voltage rising, shock to see. Jury on the move, take the plea. I'm about to raise, so take a knee. It's reality, not make believe. Making waves, can't stop me now. I'm taking names, then I'll take a bow. Never throw the towel, I own the crowd. I'm coming in and I'm getting loud. Nothing can stand in my way. I look it right in the face. I'm never slowing down, yeah, I'm winning this race. Can't hold me back, can't hold me down. It's time for me to own it now. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. Never stopping, yeah, I got it, I won't slow down. Feeling mighty, got the power, I'm the king now. Never stopping, yeah, I got it, I won't slow down. Got the power, I'm the king now. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level.
All right, we're back. It's eliminations time. The break wasn't very short.
Yeah, that was
Wasn't very long, sorry.
very quick about that. We've already got activity in ring 3. Ooh, that looked dramatic. But as requested, we are staying on Shannon.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, they should have stopped there. There were a lot of stabs going on.
All right, the director is chastising Fencer in red a little bit for failing to hold when instructed. But Laurel still gets 3 points.
She's very fast. Doing a lot of disengages.
That she is.
They both seem very dependent on their offhand here.
Yeah. One judge is motioning that he didn't see it. Interesting. Is that a low priority target? Wow. I think she...
Looks like it pricked the arm on the way in.
Yeah. It's another 1 point.
And that's low red. Shannon is going to need to ramp it up a little bit.
Clear the field. Come on.
Yeah, with this big disengages. They are also great if you want to disarm your opponent because they're having to loosen their grip to do those disengages. You send a good expulsion, you can send their sword flying.
Oh, I didn't see that last exchange. I didn't see where it landed. Shannon just kind of casually walking into measure there.
Ooh. And that looks like it's it for Shannon Rebuke.
You're just going to keep doing that the whole time, aren't you?
Doing what?
You know what you're doing. Yep, looks like red fencer Laura Rogers took it. Looks like Shannon's taking it well, though.
All right. Moving on. We've got Amy Johnson and Julia Quash.
Ooh, I've seen Julia Quash before.
Yeah, Amy is a new fencer. This is their first tournament.
Wow.
Grand to make it to eliminations.
What bravery. It takes a lot of courage to come to tournament for the first time. It's very different than classes or in-house sparring. Are they rolling that a double?
I guess so. It looked a little out of tempo. But
Oh. Ah.
Oh, that was very messy.
yeah, and I didn't see one solid plant. Everything went passe.
Yeah, it all just kind of slid past each other.
Oh, and
Sorry,
I guess they did.
I'm getting a little sleepy.
Too much karaoke.
I need a clean exchange to wake me up.
It's interesting. Amy has much more of a sort of a profile in her stance.
Yeah. We try to teach the French system, which has the shoulder all the way back. And, of course, that's uncomfortable, but...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is Amy's hand taped together?
Yes. Because blade grabs are not allowed in this tournament, we had... No, not to be mean, but there has been some problems where you'll do a hand parry, and the judges will call it a blade grab. So we just taped the hand completely...
To ensure that
Yeah.
there's no chance.
So you can't be like, nope, there's no way.
I feel like Julia took that, but I don't see him increasing her points.
Yeah. May have been a double where they...
Oh, I didn't see any
Amy-
contact there.
Yeah, looked like a double offhand. We taught a whole class on...
That's low blue.
Really? You think?
Oh,
Is it a
yep.
blade grab?
Oh, I think I saw an arm stab there, but they're not calling it. Maybe it was passe. He's leaning forward quite a lot there.
Maybe going for a ring out. Oh, never mind. Now, by leaning, it shows that your measure is a little longer, even if it's not. It can entice people to step backwards without you
That's
being
match
so
red.
committed.
Wow!
Wowee.
Wow! That must feel really good in the
Yeah,
first tournament.
First tournament? Whoa, careful. That Amy's head might be making it to the booth over here.
Wait, what? Amy's head might be making it to the booth?
Yeah,
'Cause it's so
ego
big.
inflation.
Oh. Sounded very morbid for a second.
Yeah, no, that's for longsword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Give it
much
a
more-
second.
Much more likely in Longsword. Might have a hand fly off.
Would not be handy.
All right, so is that the end of eliminations?
Nah, why now?
It's looking like there's no more activity happening in the pools right now.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
So we're now in semifinals.
So we'll get to see our top 4 fencers.
All right. So fencers will be fencing in the semifinals rules, where they must either win twice or lose twice to make their placement in either fighting for gold or fighting for bronze.
As long as Amy stays technical and remembers their training.
So it's looking like, yep, Laura Rogers versus Amy Johnson. In ring 2 here. Can't see quite what it is for ring 1, but got a lot of fast motions going here. That's seems to be Laurel's MO. Lots of circular motions and disengages.
I love that little tassel.
It's quite.
I'm a big tassel head.
Yeah.
That's double high.
Yep, I
Yeah.
saw Laurel's going, but I didn't quite see Amy's retaliation.
You know what? I'm not entirely certain I saw the same action that the director did.
You know, sometimes the directors have a better angle, and sometimes not.
These fast actions, the tip has to leave very far from yourself when you're fighting against it. So Amy just has to commit into an action.
Yep, that was a low priority target. I saw the hit to the arm.
You can also see Laurel is using a bit of a mind game where they'll put some hard pressure onto the Amy's blade and then let go, and it gets Amy to hesitate for a moment.
Almost like a
Wondering-
beat.
Yeah, it's almost like a beat, except you're not displacing the blade. It's just a mind game, because it's like, oh, are they going to disengage now, or are they going to keep pressing?
Yeah, I guess my instinct then would be to go back into the opening to get the bind, but
Yeah.
It seems like both fencers may be getting a little desperate. I feel like tensions are getting a little bit higher as we move into the semifinals.
Yeah. To me, it looked like both of their points and end up.
Yep, that's another double.
Simultaneous. That was definitely simultaneous.
All of these exchanges are ending up almost doubles, if not doubles. That's match red because of time.
But, oh, what happened to the score there?
That was
Did they call that a high priority red?
No, I think it was just a one final 1 point low priority shot from Laurel. She manages to take it.
Well, they got one or two more, potentially.
Yeah, they've got another match to go. They do get a minute to take a breather, though.
And with all that blade action, they're going to need it. And it's doesn't look like a lot, but it can get tiring.
Any fencing at all is a highly cardio-intensive sport. Additionally, you're also wearing lots of gear. So typically you have a plastron, which is a hard plastic sort of chest piece underneath your fencing jacket, which is usually pretty thick material because it has to be puncture resistant. And then on top of that, you could be wearing a gorget, your fencing mask. It can be hard to breathe in the fencing mask. You know, it does have mesh in the front, but it still restricts your breathing. So you can get quite sweaty quite quickly.
And, you know, you got a lot of heat coming out of the top of your head. The mask can really trap it in, and it can make you overheat real quick.
Yeah.
A lot of the Diamond Rose guys also fence without jackets when we practice and such. So it's relatively new to a lot of our new fencers to fence with a jacket on.
Oh, I
could
haven't gone
be a
really
big-
through that kind of conditioning.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things you don't think. You're like, oh, I just got to put a jacket on. That's not that bad. But when you start going, you're like, okay, this thing sucks.
Please rip it off my
Yeah.
body. I no longer want to wear it.
All right, our next match is between Amy Johnson and Morgan Delo.
I'm not familiar with her.
Delo.
She's a newer fencer. I haven't seen her before.
Who?
Morgan.
Morgan goes to our school.
She does?
Yep.
Arm wrap, arm wrap, arm wrap. Oh, blade grab. That's not what you wanted.
Oh, you know what? I do recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, came back to me. You're right.
No, never mind. Who blade grabbed?
Okay, that was pretty clear.
That's
Deep
blue
target.
high.
Yeah.
Morgan takes the lead.
Not to the high opening, but high priority.
Currently, we're having a technical difficulty, according to the director.
Are they having problems inputting the scores? Seems to resolve now.
Can be a real. Can be off-putting when you're fencing in a match like this, and then you have to stop. It can get you to cool off, right?
Yeah, it can really sort of stop you short, mess up your momentum. I did see that plant pretty firmly.
That's
into her
high from
bicep.
blue again.
Yep.
Amy has to remember to parry first. Oh, that's
I think that's another one from the game.
yeah. So, in the rule set, stopping the blade between any 2 points of the hand is a blade grab, and because it caught the thumb, it looks like they're going to be giving that to Amy.
Morgan
Or
was given a
not.
warning for a potential blade grab.
A war?
Oh, looks like Amy managed to get that. I saw it plant onto Morgan's side. Wow, Morgan really running in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she managed. Did she manage to plant that before it was passe? I saw it go right underneath her arm all the way up to the hilt.
Morgan does not seem to be native to this weapon and has been fencing very, very aggressively this whole tournament.
Okay, they're calling on
That's double high.
Oh,
What?
what?
Hold was called.
All right.
there.
Yeah, it is a little hard because of thrust coming into the body. Your arms obscure it. Oh, Amy just has to get one more. Oh,
I feel like that last exchange just fell into the judge's cataract spot.
Looks like, yep. Morgan jumped into that last thrust. And it looks like she took that match.
yeah. It's a little difficult with how small the rings are. You can kind of gather and lunge in 1 or 2 tempos, right?
All right, we just cut over to Laurel taking the match against Sierra Hotz.
I wonder what her previous match was. How well she did.
Sierra just hit the yikes emoji on their face.
Okay. Well, that's 2 matches each. Not sure if anyone has to fight a third one to be a tiebreaker, or if it's.
I don't
decided.
believe so. I think that's the end of finals, as it says on screen.
Well,
Or is it?
Semifinals, sorry.
yeah. The end of finals, we would be awarding medals.
Oh, nope. We're fighting once more. There's one more match.
For
This will determine who is fighting for gold.
Woohoo.
Ooh. Sierra must have done quite well while we were watching. We'll see how she handles Morgan's more aggressive style.
Yeah, Sierra has been working a lot with negating the, as it has been named, the prison shank style, where you will cross over and retract the arm and attack.
Well, that should be quite helpful.
Yeah, so hopefully Sierra will be remembering what they have learned. And
Looks like preparation for gear check for longsword is happening in the background.
All right. I don't know why this is taking so long to start. But it looks like this final match is starting up now.
Yep. Here we go. Very fast.
Now, Morgaine just went for a thrust to back. I'm not sure if that's legal.
yeah, the thrust to the back is legal.
Oh,
Is it?
Even the back of the head is now legal in this rule set, as long as it's not endangering anyone.
I think she managed to get a low priority target there.
That's blue low. Morgaine seems to just be
Really.
plowing through
I didn't see her land a low
Yeah.
priority.
like a freight train.
Remember your...
Blue high. That's the end of the match.
Wow.
Huh. That was,
I don't know if I agree with
yeah,
one of those shots.
I agree with
Yep. That was a little iffy, but
Two of those.
you know, what are you going to do?
a couple of those, but
Well, Sierra seems to be in good spirits, so maybe she felt a hit there and we just didn't see it.
All right, so this is the end of semifinals. We're going to be giving you a nice, quick highlight reel, and then we'll be switching over to the next stream, the longsword stream, where you can watch our next tournament. And after that, we will have the medal matches for both smallsword and longsword. That will all be part of the same stream.
Do we, just really quick before we swap over, do we know who is fighting for gold and who is fighting for bronze in Smallsword?
Morgaine is most definitely fighting for gold. And
Against Laurel.
Laurel Rogers.
And Sierra and Amy are competing for bronze.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Isaac.
of course,
Your
it's been a
commentary.
pleasure.
And I am signing off. I gotta go do gear check now.
Yeah, you're going to be fencing in longsword. We'll see the Rat King.
Mm-hmm. I will be seeing you later.
I will still be here, so I'll hop off.
Bye-bye, folks.
Bye.